Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday, another edition of Morning Pulse here. I'm Kelsey Marier, your host and producer, for your local weekday headlines. Top local stories here. We like to keep this nice, short, and sweet to make sure that you know what's happening in the communities around you. In just a short format. So we're going to get started. We have three stories to bring you today. One of those, our first one here, was actually kind of a breaking story that happened or that was developing over the last couple of hours, I guess you could say. So it's a brand new story for us. You may have already seen it on our website, kettc.com, but if not, I'm going to bring you the update or just the information about this story right now. So we're going to take you to near the Pine Island area where thankfully no one was hurt. In an early morning mobile home and barn fire. So this was just south of Pine Island. It happened, the call kind of came in around just after 6 a.m. today on 280th Avenue. We did send a crew to the scene and got some video of what was going on there. According to the Dodge County Sheriff's Office, who we spoke with, a deputy there, a driver had actually noticed the flames coming from this mobile home, and so that driver called it in to authorities, where they then obviously arrived on scene. The mobile home, we're told, is a total loss. The status of the barn, unknown at this time, but we did see that multiple agencies were on the scene here, including Pine Island, West Concord, and Manorville fire crews. There was some law enforcement on scene as well. But yeah, a big response here to this mobile home and barn fire. If we get any new information about this story, of course, we will be sure to bring that to you on air and online at kettc.com. All right, our next story for Morning Pulse this morning, kind of a big change that's happening for Mayo Clinic Health System. So we're talking about the health system closing several rural clinics across Minnesota, the southern portion. To be more exact, those closures include, as listed on your screen here, the Northridge location in North Mankato, as well as the clinics in St. Peter and Wells, and the ones in Belle Plaine, Caledonia, and Montgomery. So again, this is kind of all across southern Minnesota here. The clinics are scheduled to shut down by December 10th, so just before the end of the year. And Mayo Clinic says, the health system says it will be contacting patients directly to offer some scheduling assistance, expand operation offerings, and do some improvement to virtual care options. Also in this announcement, Mayo Clinic Health System reports that many elective surgical procedures are going to be moving from the Mayo Clinic Health System Albert Lea location to the Austin and Waseca location. So that's something else that we wanted to make sure that you knew. We do have a statement from the Minnesota MCHS Vice President on our website, so you can read what they had to say about this, kind of going into the reasoning why they're kind of consolidating care and closing several locations across southern Minnesota. So if you want to read that website, again, that's from the Vice President of MCHS Minnesota. You can go to our website, kettc.com, and find that information. And finally, this morning, after a little bit of a delay due to some widespread mold, students at Wabasha Kellogg have officially returned to the classroom today. It's their first day of school. Again, this was a little bit of a delay because of the mold issues. The superintendent says the district actually discovered those issues 2 weeks ago. We obviously brought that information to you 2 weeks ago. And then crews and officials immediately began remediation efforts at the elementary building where the mold was found. Crews were able to remove sheetrock and ceiling tiles. They cleaned many items, including carpet cleaning, and they did some air testing as well. The district on its Facebook page says the P through 6th grade classrooms and some other educational offices and spaces have been moved into some temporary locations until all of the test results come back safe. So that is just something we want to let you know about. But yeah, kids are back in class, staff back in school as well for a brand new year for Wabasha Kellogg after these mold problems that we had been reporting. So wanted to bring that to you as well, and hopefully wish those students and staff a good start to a brand new school year. So that is the third and final news headline I have for you today. The only other thing I want to make sure that you know about as you're kind of going about your morning and for the rest of your day is today going to be another nice day. However, meteorologist Ted Schmidt did say today is probably going to be our coolest day of the week. Not anything crazy, not anything like last week by any means. And today is probably the only day of the work week that we will be seeing some rain chances. Now, those are going to happen a little bit later, maybe during the evening commute, and maybe after that as well. So if you're going to be out during that time, potentially want to bring some rain gear with you, just so that you are prepared for the day ahead and don't get stuck out in the rain. We want to make sure that you know what's going on in the weather department. So you can find Ted's full forecast as well for the day ahead, as well as, a 7-day forecast if you want to plan ahead for your weekend, which is also looking really nice. Looks like we're getting a full blast of summer warmth back. We're going to be in the 80s this weekend, which is great. But if you need to know any of that details, kind of more finite weather information, Ted posts his weather forecast, the full thing, on our website, kettc.com, for you to check out as well. All right, well, that is all the news and weather headlines that I have for you on this Tuesday, November, what am I saying? Tuesday, September 9th. We'll get to November at some point. We no need to rush. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you have a good rest of your Tuesday. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow for another edition of Morning Pulse.